Excellent. Well, thank you so much. So lots of exciting things going on, and this has opened up a lot of conversations I want to jump into here. So I'm going to dive right in, and this is really supposed to be about more of an advanced analytics panel that moves beyond just self-service BI and some of the, I guess, the things that were more cutting edge maybe 5 years ago, right, or something like that. So I heard ThoughtSpot was mentioned. This is kind of a bridging topic. Is this idea of some of these what are called augmented analytics tools, things like ThoughtSpot and Tellius. But really, these capabilities now are in a lot of the BI tools. So Power BI, Q&A, or Click has Insight Bot, right? This chat bot. Basically, they're ways for using natural language processing to interact in a very natural way and do simple Google type queries, or use voice commands or drag and drop features to build visualizations and get insights on the fly. So you don't need that expertise to build out like a business intelligence dashboard, for instance. So tell me, I'm curious to know if any of you are using some of these tools. We know that Gustav has used it in some of his work, but things like ThoughtSpot, like Tellius, and whether you're using what are called citizen data scientists, or really kind of expert BI folks who start to, drip towards the data science world. Curious to see what your experience has been there, and if that was a stepping stone towards more advanced work, or if you jump straight to advanced data science type work and then backfilled this middle space to kind of bridge the gap between business intelligence and data science. So I want to talk a bit about this class of tools before we move on to other things, if you don't mind. Anyone else other than Gustav using this? Matthew or Alex?
Yeah, this is Matthew.
Hi, Matthew. Sure.
So in terms of our strategy is while we have ThoughtSpot in the organization, we're actually reducing the use of ThoughtSpot.
Okay.
We are favoring more cloud native tools, and because first of all, it gives us a better operational characteristics for using those tools. Secondly, from a data science perspective, we're looking at more open source tools and more standard things like Jupyter notebooks, Python types of workloads. We are using more of the BI tools, whether it's Power BI, Tableau, etc., those kinds of tools for the masses, but our data science is primarily on things like Jupyter Notebooks, TensorFlow, etc.,
right,
and cloud native.
Yeah, right. And so, yeah, the Jupyter Notebooks and the Pythons of the world, those are these free or low cost, let's say that with an asterisk because they do cost labor, some of these options. So great, excellent. Alex or Doug?
Yeah, I'll add to what Gustav said. We're a lot of Python, and we find Tableau on the front end to be very useful as well. So building on what Gustav said, we're moving in that area, in that space as well.
Okay, great. And Gustav, so I'm curious to know about your ThoughtSpot. So ThoughtSpot works well as an integration with Snowflake, and I believe they've expanded to other data warehouses like Synapse, Azure Synapse. You mentioned you were a Microsoft shop, but you're using Snowflake for your data warehouse and then ThoughtSpot to query into it. Was there a reason you chose Snowflake instead of Synapse? I'm curious.
Yeah, no, good question. Helping to re-architect and absolutely Synapse is a good option. At the same time as this transformation is happening in the data space, there's also an acquisition of multiple other platforms. I mentioned the mobile one. They're doing something around loyalty management. And these other capabilities all come with Snowflake capabilities as well, or compatibility. And so the business leaders, along with the IT leaders, made the decision that it would be worthwhile to invest in Snowflake. One from a speed standpoint, another from a future lock in or lock out of vendors as well. It's good to have sort of a parallel path for some of these areas. So that was part of the decision making to go with Snowflake, and then it naturally fits in with ThoughtSpot on top. The users here, if you think about it, are largely individuals who are sitting out in stores across the geographies that the company covers. And so therefore they have probably in an 8-hour shift, they may have 15 to 20 minutes to look at data that's going to help them do something differently. And so what they're able to do is very, very specifically go in and like we talked about through NLP, inquire or ask questions of the data that's in Snowflake, and that's miles better than what they had before. They have a different name for Tableau. I won't mention it here, but it's very slow. Let's just say that. So they've moved in this direction instead.
Yeah, very interesting. Great. So yeah, we see this sort of rise of augmented tools that can help, leapfrog in a sense this jump from business intelligence straight to visualizations and even some lightweight data science models. Great. So let's pivot now to some AI and machine learning, because I think that's an area that all four of you were touching on in your work to some extent, and sort of leaning into the piggyback aspect to this. You have tools like Data Robot that are kind of a comfortable tool for some organizations because of its ease of use in a way. And we have others in the mix here, of course, the three major cloud vendors with major presence in the AI machine learning space: Microsoft, AWS, and Google. And then we see Databricks up here, listed as an AI machine learning tool, increasingly seen as kind of a standalone alternative to a data warehouse, like a data lake is what they call it. So looking at it more as a data management and integration space almost as much as it is data science. And other folks on this screen, H2O.ai, Dataiku, and so on. Give me a sense of some of the tools that you're using in AI machine learning, and what have been some of the hurdles you've overcome to adopt those, and some of your AI ops, your ML ops that's going on. Give us a bit of a deeper dive on some of the AI machine learning you're doing. Alex, let's go back to you. You're a data scientist. Tell us a little bit deeper into some of the AI machine learning work you're doing, and maybe some of the hiccups or successes you're seeing with certain tools.
Sure. I have hands-on experience working with few of these vendors. H2O, Dataiku, Data Robot. Obviously, I live in Anaconda. They have different degrees of customization. They have different degrees of usability. I've worked with all of them. The positive things are that if the use cases are relatively straightforward, all of these tools are good. They offer you clicking opportunities and getting quick models and results. The challenge with most of these tools, and some are more than others, is the fact that one, the support teams are not very strong, even for large clients. So to get results, to get answers quickly, as a learning curve of figuring out the tool, a little time consuming. So so you have to go through some. So these product companies are not well yet established as some larger companies like Amazon, Microsoft, to support clients in supporting their use cases. That's one of the challenges. And the critical challenge is in terms of the work product. The work product for is very difficult to customize because it's black box. So when you create something internally, it's all there. You cannot get full understanding what actually happens beyond the visualization of explanation or proxy explanations of the things that it does. So if you want to take that and expand, you only have to do it in the tool. So it locks you into the tool somewhat. So there are some reservations around level of customization that you want to do, and the hurdles around getting support for special use cases. But overall, it answers for a very limited set of simple use cases. They work great.
Yeah, excellent.